I just realized I've been talking and it's been muted. I'm so sorry. I will cut off the first part. Aloha, my beautiful ones. For everybody who has already been part of these Sunday meditations, you know that in the beginning I explain a couple of things. So you can, if you feel, if you already know how we're going to be doing it today, just go ahead and, grab something to drink, make yourself comfortable, and come back in like 10 to 15 minutes. And for those of you here for the very first time, welcome, my beautiful souls. My name is May. I'm your neurospicy cyber witch, and you're here on my channel where I unravel anything that has to do with energies, with your witchiness, your highly sensitivity, and or your neurodivergence, specifically the ADHDers. But of course, I'm going to be talking for every neurodivergent person out there because it's all a spectrum, and somehow we relate to so many things on so many different levels. So. And I share here, my with my weekly podcast and with these journeys every Sunday, I share the wisdom that I gained after so many years of, learning to, I'm going to put it in quotation marks, learning to deal with, my empathy, my highly sensitivity, and then realizing that actually all of that helped me to um, have a better life as an easier life as an ADHDer once I knew that I was one. Um, and yeah, so I share all of this because I believe everybody can learn and everybody can do it this way. Because for me, the essence of it all is returning to yourself, allowing yourself to be who you are and stop fighting your own, natural self. And I say this knowing that a lot of us are like, oh, I wish I could be normal. I wish I wouldn't be, distracted all the time and things like that. But, I can tell you with my, I don't know, when did my spiritual path start? 20 years of experience that in the end, it's about becoming 1,000% your authentic self. And because you're amazing. And once you embrace this, it might not feel like it right now, but it helps. And one of the things that I noticed with so many people out there and myself was in the beginning that I had a spiritual path. I had, a shamanic, I was a shamanic practitioner and everything, but I got to a point where I was so overwhelmed with everything around me that I couldn't feel and see my spiritual guides anymore. And so that's the reason why I started doing these Sunday journeys with you so that you can, have a space where you can come back. And for the past, I think since I think this is the third time now that I am recording this to also go into my podcast. So whether you're listening in from the podcast or my YouTube channel, whether you're live here on a Sunday at 9 p.m., 9 o'clock, 21 o'clock, um, Central European time, or you are listening to the recording of this. These are made for you so that you have a safe space where you can come and practice connection with your spirit guides. And the thing is that, and here's the explanation with my journeys. They are basically like a guided meditation, but they have the added bonus of also being sort of like a shamanic journey. This is something that my spirit guides taught me a couple of, I have to say, a long time ago now. Um, I remember when I was initiated by my spirits to do these kind of journeys, and I also remember having shamans tell me shamanic journeys are never guided. But well, I got the okay from my spirit guides to do it, and I've been doing it and with very, very successfully. So I'm basically your shamanic guide to guide you to a place where you can see, hear, or feel your spirit guides. And the thing is that this, like I just said, depends on your clairvoyance, whether you are someone that feels spirit guides, that sees spirit guides, or that just simply knows. It's like a knowing, a deep knowing that they are there, that they're listening to you and talking to you. Um, or, any other form or clairvoyance. I believe that we don't just have one. Like in my case, I sometimes have a deep knowing. Sometimes I hear them like really like as if someone would be standing behind me like here. And sometimes I actually see them talking to me and they give me images and videos basically, like internal videos for the content creators out there. Um, that's one thing that could happen. But then there's also people that have smells or tastes that come up suddenly, and then they understand, oh, my spirit guides are telling me this or that, right? So I'm saying this because I want you to be as open as possible to whatever wants to show up. Again, don't pressure yourself. It might be this or that sometimes. And also, don't pressure yourself if you don't see anything. That is also okay. I've had it myself. I've had it with clients. I've had it, in all forms that sometimes people attend a guided journey like this and they say like they entered the space and then they were gone and then they just heard me calling them back and it felt like they had fallen asleep, which can happen. It can feel like falling asleep, or it can feel like you were basically out. For me, it is like I have learned to define it as a specific form of trance that the universe, your spirit guides, or your system puts you in because they feel that right now that's the best for you to do this journey with. Um, it doesn't mean that you're not doing anything. You're probably going to feel something anyhow because of the double effect. On one hand, you're doing it in a circle of people. We're doing it right now with some people live. But the thing is that this journey is already being fed with the energy of everybody who will ever attend this journey, even though they might not be, watching it or listening to it in a day or two or maybe a year or two, right? So they're all already here with us in this space. So you have the space of a circle of people, of like-minded people who are going, that has a power in itself on one hand. On the other hand, sometimes we have been so overwhelmed that the universe just says like, come in, you know, it's good that you have the energy of the group and everything, but we want you to rest. So we're taking you out. We're making you go into trance so that you can, your spirit can go and do its work, but you can relax, right? So if you fall asleep, please don't be graceful with yourself. It's okay. All right? That's also okay. Just as a small disclaimer, if, because also this is something that has happened, if at some point you don't hear me bringing you back, and so you basically maybe you wake up to, you seeing YouTube completely empty and stuff like that, or already, passed on to the next videos. Um, and you please be mindful with yourself, with your body, and feel if you feel grounded enough. If not, please repeat this that I usually guide you through when we're doing the journey. So this is like a spoiler alert for the ending. We're going to be breathing through your crown, inhaling through your crown chakra, and then exhaling through your feet. It's going to be different in the beginning. You'll see in a couple of minutes. But for now, so if whenever you feel like one of these journeys has not anchored you back into your body, imagine yourself inhaling through your crown chakra and exhaling through your feet. So, and if it helps, imagine universal energy entering your body, going through your whole body, and then exiting through your feet. All right. Allow yourself to have that and with that, you're going to start feeling yourself being grounded right away with the first, breathing this way. So this is a very good, grounding technique that you can do, that I want you to have for just in case this happens. So that's how you can go through these journeys. If you feel like, May, but what if it's something scary? What if it shows me something that I'm afraid of? So the thing is that we work, or the way I work with these journeys is with intention, right? So your intention is to, if it's your first time here, maybe to just meet your spirit guides, or your intention is to say, I have this challenge next week. I'm having a conversation, a harder conversation with someone, and I need, the support of my spirit guides. So the very first thing that we do that you're going to see also in the journey is that we're going to connect you with your spirit guides. That's one of the very first things after, landing in the place where we're going to go. Um, so, and also I create with my spirits, with your spirits, with with the spirit guides that help me create this journey every Sunday. They help me also to keep it as a safe space. But sometimes there's still something going to be shown that might, make you feel anxious or make you feel afraid. So for those moments, your intention is to be connected with your spirit guides so that they can, make it night. Like for me, I usually use, if something shows up a little bit scary and then I used to tell them, hey, this looks scary to me. Please show it to me in a different way. And then give it a moment and it will change. Or if you're already, that is sometimes if you don't really see or feel your spirit guides. But if you do see and feel them, tell them, please cloak me, please give me, help me to be protected so that I can see things clearly, even though they might be scary. But I want to have the courage and I want to feel safe. So please help me feel safe first, and then show me whatever you need me to see or to hear and feel and know. Um, yeah, that's how, how we can deal with the spirits. As you can see, I'm moving a little bit because I usually sit on one of those, bouncy balls where you can sit, because it's just, ADHD. It makes me feel better and it keeps me moving. That's why, of course, I'm not going to go crazy because I want you to have a calm space. So I'm not going to be doing that, but I will no, not but, and I want you to have the permission to do the same. I mean, I do understand that there are some people that need complete static and complete, uh, how do you call that? Like complete stillness for their meditations, and that's it, we completely understand that, but for some of us neurospicy people it's not that easy. So feel free. I highly recommend when if it's your first time to, maybe try to at least for the first time to listen while you have your eyes closed and while you're either sitting or laying down somewhere. But I do recommend if you need movement and before you don't do anything, you can listen to this while you're walking around, while you're on a hike, while you're doing the dishes, doing laundry. I want you to have that, to be empowered to do these guided journeys as you feel most comfortable. Again, sometimes you're going to want to sit down, sometimes you're going to, want to be doing something else next to it. But, like I said, for the first time, I recommend to, create a space where you can follow along because, that way my voice can take you wherever you need to go. And then after that, do whatever feels right for you within this journey. As to the spirit guides, like I said, because I create the safe space, there's no spirit coming in that can harm you. We're only calling in your spirit guides that belong to you, that want to help you, that want to support you. And so what kind of spirit, because for me, spirit guides is sort of like the title for everybody. And then there's people and shamans and different kinds of spiritual teachers that, sorry, I keep touching that one, that keep different labels for different kinds of spirit guides that can happen. In my case, I don't, because I noticed in the end, I'm going to ask into the void who wants to help me with this challenge, and then the right kind of spirit is going to show up. So this can be spiritual guides, that meaning spirits that used to walk the earth at some point long, long time ago and have become spiritual guides for others and that are here to support you. So they have a different kind of view of things that can then give you inspiration, give you the right kind of information that you need. Then of course your higher self can show up in some form. We have spiritual guides that have become, like I said, teachers and healers, in that realm. I think in shamanic terms, it's called the other world, at least if I take the German word and translate it directly. Then there's spirit animals, totem animals, power animals. I call them spirit animals. They're there. We sometimes have one, two, three, four different kinds. I have different ones for different tasks that I have. Magical creatures. If you have a unicorn that suddenly shows up, don't feel like it's not true. Yes, apparently you are someone that works with unicorns. In my case, and that might also show up for you, is dragons. I have been working with dragons for the past 16 or so years. I really enjoy working with them. I love them, and they are part of the ones that actually keep our circle safe. We have a beautiful elephant that has been showing up ever since I started these journeys that keeps our sacred space. And that's something that can show up. Fairies, trolls, all kinds of nature animals that you can imagine. And now I'm seeing that the internet connection is unstable, but I hope it still works. Um, what else? Extraterrestrials can also show up. Angels can show up. However your system is going to show you your energies that help you. All right. I always say for me, it's all energies. And I actually had a time in my spiritual journey, learning journey, where I would just see orbs, like light orbs. I couldn't define whether it was spirit animals or spiritual teachers and healers or anything like that. I just knew helper energy. That's the one that wants to help me. So I'm going to go with them. I also had a phase where it showed up like that. Um, I didn't if you know Ang the Airbender, but I'm not talking about the real movies or series. I'm talking about the cartoon. I remember when I was binge watching through that one again years ago. Um, I started seeing, my whole world inside that space was in cartoon. So that can also happen. So what I'm trying to say is, however your system wants to show you things, that's the right kind in that moment. Whether it's in black or white, whether it's in a different language, as long as you understand everything, you're going to be fine. And again, you are safe because of the space that we're creating here. And if there's anything that shows up that is a little scary, please always ask your spirit guides to remove it, to change it, to show it differently so that you understand. All right. And like I said, the most important thing is the intention that we set in. So, what is it that you would like to know from your spirit guides this week? That is a good intention to start with. Is there any specific topic that you want to be clear of before you start into the coming week? We're still having Pluto in our system right now because Pluto is going retrograde right now. Let me just check. Um, which is helping us to do a real deep detox, of networks, communities, dynamics, people, whatever feels the way it wants to feel right now for you. And we're having a week where we're really, moving towards a full moon, which I'm very excited of because that means that next week when we meet, we're going to be fully in the full moon energy. So I'm very excited for that to have next Sunday. All right. What else do we need to know? I think I have everything. So please, if you see me doing something on the side, it's because I'm doing this. And I'm just realizing, you see the elephants? And this is something, a candle thingy that I got from my wonderful shamanic teacher, and who is also, of course, here whenever I do these journeys, helping us create and keep the safe space. All right, so making yourself comfortable. One of the things, oh yeah, one more thing before. Usually I don't use music because it's a 50-50 chance that you either like music or not. All the neurodiverse people out there, we are sort of like a mix of both things. We have phases where we feel like um oh Sorry, I just saw the comments that were telling me that I was in mute in the beginning. Um, so sorry, I got to see there, my unicorn. The thing is with music is that there's a 50% chance that you either like music a lot for journeys like this or you don't. So please feel free to put on the music that you like. I always like Vaya. I'm gonna look for them so that I can share that with you real quick on YouTube if you feel like doing YouTube, but you can find um the same artist on all the streaming platforms. I found them there everywhere. And yeah, sharing this because I'm working on my own. We're working on that. There's going to be that as well. I'm putting it in the chat right now. We're gonna have that too, but yeah, I'm still working on it. As you know, spiritual, our creativity sometimes needs a little space and time. But yeah, I'm getting closer every week a little bit to bring out my own music that you can use as well. So yeah, that's the part about the music. And then we, of course, are going to get started. So take a moment. I'm going to take a zip in case you need to grab your music, in case you need to, find your place. Um, yeah, yes. And then we're going to get started with the cards for the coming week. And then we're driving into the journey. So these, yeah, I always draw from my cards that are starting to look like they have been used. These were created with the support of my Hawaiian teacher on Big Island. I'm very happy for this guidance. And we're going to see, again, you're watching this, right? Because I've been like, if you look back at the two from the last 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, it's so incredibly I'm incredibly in awe with these things because, how high is the possibility that I pull the same cards 2 or 3 weeks in a row? Oh, sorry. If you need to yawn or something or sneeze or cough, by the way, that's energy starting to move. It's not that, not that anyone's boring right now. Um, it's energy moving through our body or mine in this case because you're watching me do this. All right, so cards are here. The three cards are here. I'm going to be reading them. Nice. I like them very much. So the first card that I got for you is, and for next week, stop and dance. Take a break and celebrate yourself and your successes. This is a very good moment so that you can, yeah, just take a moment of how great things you have been doing. If you have, your gratitude journal could be a good space to do it right now, to look at right now. And if not, rewrite that's one of the things that I love practicing is, to rewrite your CV with all the things you've accomplished. And I'm not talking about work-wise. I'm talking about things like overcame fear of this or, learned how to become a better friend or and so on, right? I think you get the gist. So stop and dance. I'm going to put it in here in the camera for those of you watching so that you can make a screenshot for next week. In 3, 2, 1, go. Screenshot there if you want it as a reminder. Next card is you are strong. Don't make yourself smaller than you are. You have an incredible creative energy within yourself. So remember the things you have achieved and created so far. Isn't it incredible how this fits with the stop and dance and is what I just mentioned? Ha! I didn't see that one. See, this is how spirit works. They just intertwine themselves. All right, get ready to screenshot that one in 3, 2, 1, go. You are strong. And here's my favorite card. It's really like my ultimate favorite card because once you really embrace this, the more you do this, oh, it's oh, such freedom, such, it just, I love it. I'm gonna read it to you so you know. My favorite, all-time favorite card is surrender. Surrender to your spiritual guidance. Pay attention to the signs of the universe or your spiritual helpers. There are so many signs that we have that can guide us. And I'm not talking about the cards here or the journey that we're doing here. Of course, that's part of it as well. But there's so many things that can happen walking around that, animals you see or people that, or real literal signs that you see somewhere with different words or simply social media that suddenly shows up a quote or something that makes you go, oh my God, right? Um, so this is basically, yes, on one hand, of course, the call to surrender, but at the same time, also a reminder of the signs to look out for the signs that you have. The more we practice to be open and to seeing where the universe is guiding us, the better we get. Sort of like practicing with this journey today. All right, get ready to screenshot. Here you go. Three, two, one. And there you go. Amazing. Those are the three cards that we're having for this week. So you can use these, for example, if you want to use the intentions, you can ask your spirit guides, hey, what can I do to surrender better? What can I please help me to see a sign? Help or send me a sign. That's one of my favorite practices. Um, Nowadays I see them almost every day. That's why I don't do it anymore. But back then, when I still had to practice to surrender more. Ask your spirit guides. Do that today in the journey. Ask your spirit guides, please send me a sign during the week that you're here, that you're supporting me in real life. Do that and see and let the magic unfold. It's just, ooh, beautiful. All right, my beautiful ones, get ready for our journey. Make yourself comfortable. Turn on the music. And let's get started. Hmm. Like every time we are getting started in breathing to connect to our body, to ourselves. So just focus on your breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And then you imagine yourself with the next inhale that you're inhaling through your crown chakra, like I mentioned earlier. But this time you exhale through your belly button, through the center of your being. And let's bring in universal energy. So you inhale universal energy through your crown chakra. Let that energy go through your whole body. And then exhale through your belly button, taking all the worries and all the things that you don't need anymore are just exhaled out. Inhale through your crown chakra and exhale all your worries and anything that you don't need anymore, especially not in the next week. You just exhale it out through your belly button. And with every breath, you feel how your body becomes lighter and lighter. And full of ease. And feel how your body is lighter and easier with every exhale. And then you go with your attention to a little place in nature, somewhere at the edge of a beautiful little forest, a little open space. There's a little path and a little field of grass and wildflowers. And you see the edge of the forest on one side. And maybe you hear the wind blowing through the trees. Maybe you smell some flowers. Maybe you hear some bees or some insects flying or birds flying by. And with your feet, you start feeling the dirt beneath your feet, the earth. Really arriving with all of your senses here in this space. And then you see on one side of this little piece of land, you see a little river. Big enough for you to see that it's a river, but small enough that you are able to just walk into it. Take a couple of steps and feel how your feet touch the water, are covered by the water, and the water almost gets to your knees. And you feel the cool water of this river. And as you're standing there, you feel yourself melt into the water as if you're becoming one with this river. As if you're laying down, becoming small enough that the river can carry you. And you start seeing, you know, the trees floating by. And you can see some trees, being tall enough to cover the river. And this is just beautiful and calming and soft. And it sort of feels like as if the little stones from the river are giving you a soft massage. And with every soft touch of your body, they take away more worries and more things that you don't need. And you feel how your body becomes even lighter and gets tingled and massaged by the wonderful stones inside of this beautiful river that is carrying you, allowing you to fully rest, to fully relax into this moment right now. And as the river starts turning in one direction, you feel like the water, instead of taking you, to the one side, it pushes you towards the shore. And you start feeling yourself again, how you lift yourself out of the water onto the shore. It's a little bit sandy, a little bit dirt. And you step out of the water and you see a little gate inviting you to come into your personal inner garden. And right behind this gate is or are your spirit guides waiting for you. They're already looking at you, very happy that you're here and looking forward to this journey with you. So you take a moment to allow yourself to feel into who your spirit guides are, who showed up today. And before you enter the inner garden together, you take a moment to set your intention. What is it that you want today? Is it to look around in your inner garden, to spend time to connect with your spirit guides, just to know who they are and what their role is in your life? Or is your intention for today to have support with a special challenge for the coming week? Or maybe even to help you do one of the things that the cards were giving you. Whatever your intention is, you can say it with your inner voice to your spirit guides right now. And remind yourself as an anchor of this, whenever you feel like you're drifting away, use this intention to anchor you back into the right now here, into this space. And just allow yourself to see, to feel, to know the messages coming through from your spirit guides. And practice, or just allow yourself to trust whatever you see right now. And whenever we're ready, whenever it's time to go back home, I will call you. So please don't worry, take your time, be wherever you need to be right now with your intention and with your spirit guides. Wherever you are within your inner garden, allow yourself to slowly bring it back to the entrance, bringing your spirit guides with you. Ask your spirit guides while you're getting closer to the entrance, if they can give you a word, a sign, an image, a sound, or something that will help you anchor this in the coming week. So that whenever you need the reminder of what they told you today, that you can see the sign or hear the sound or maybe even smell something that will remind you of what you learned today. And whenever you have that, let's give a big thank you to our spirit guides for everybody and whoever showed up. Thank you so much for your support. And we're going to say goodbye, well knowing that they're always there for us. They're always surrounding us and supporting us. But for now, we say goodbye and thank you for their help. And start walking back from our little gate to our inner garden, walking towards the water that magically is flowing the other way around now to take us home. You make your steps into the water, and like before, you feel yourself becoming one with the water. And like before, you start flowing with the river. You start seeing the landscape pass by. Maybe the trees, maybe the grass. And again, you're being softly massaged by the wonderful, beautiful stones in the river, this time helping you with every touch to integrate everything that you received today, all the information and everything that was necessary for you. And with every touch of these beautiful stones in the riverbed, it's like they are making you as strong as they are. As if they are giving you a special blessing from the ancestors, being our oldest ancestors themselves. And they are here to remind you of your own strength. And then softly, we come back to that very first area where we were already, where we started our journey today. And you feel yourself being released by the water again into your own body. And with your own body, you start stepping out of the water, feeling the dirt beneath your feet, and seeing the beautiful landscape where we started with the forest on one side, the grass on the other side. You feel the dirt beneath your feet. Maybe you even feel a warm air caressing your body. And with that, you start bringing back the attention to your body and to your breathing. And you inhale again through your crown chakra, but this time you exhale it through your feet, feeling how it starts to ground you back into your body. If you want to, you can imagine yourself inhaling universal energy. And this beautiful universal energy is giving you strength, empowering you to be you more and more. And it just fills your whole body with that, with gratitude and strength. And when you exhale, it exits through your feet into the floor, into Mother Earth. And it makes you a conduit, a channel between the universe, universal energy, and Mother Earth. And you are what brings it together. Inhale through your crown chakra. Exhale through your feet. Surrender to yourself, to your true self. Inhaling through your crown, exhaling through your feet. Feeling more and more grounded back into your body. And whenever you are ready, you take one last big deep breath, inhaling through your crown chakra, exhaling through your feet. And then you open your eyes in your own time, coming back into your here and your now. Like I said before, take your time, allow yourself to arrive back, to be grounded back into your body. If needed, practice the breathing again. Maybe you want to write down what you just experienced. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I usually try to answer within 24 hours. The recording will be here on the channel right now, and as of hopefully tomorrow on the podcast. And whenever you're ready and when you feel like joining, come join the Cyber Coven, the free community. My beautiful soul, thank you so much for being here, for having been part here, whether it was live or later in the recording. May you receive the blessings of the ancestors, and hopefully I'll see you next week again here on this channel at 21 o'clock Central European Summer Time.